Bet, following every rule and keeping proof of your ticket, only to discover the next day that you had won 17 million rand. Now imagine logging in to celebrate, only to find your winning ticket has vanished. No payout, no accountability, just endless phone calls, shifting blame and silence from the very system that confirmed your win. For the past, so we say 10 months, this has been the reality of Tshepo Bannister, whose dispute with WorldSportsBet and the SA Lottery has raised urgent questions about transparency, consumer protection, and fairness in South Africa's gambling industry. If you have proof of a winning ticket, shouldn't you be entitled to your winning? Or at least a fair settlement? Well, he joins us now to tell us exactly what happened in 2022 when he placed the bet and he won. And now 2025 still has not been paid. Tshepo, thank you so much for your time. Welcome to The Upside. Hello, Tshepo. Are you on the line? All right, we appear to have lost our winner. Listen, and those trying to Google Tshepo Bannister, like, you're not going to find like a real person. Okay, obviously.
Oh, you're not?
No, it has to be anonymous, right? Because if people now knew his real name and surname,
Oh, no. Yeah.
how many people would be giving him a call right now to find out, hey, Tshepo, let me try and help you out so that we can share. When they pay you out eventually, you can give me like 100.
Just a piece in your hand. So, I mean, how would you feel if you were just taking a chance, honey, just taking a chance, and then you actually realize you've got $954,000, which would be 18 million South African rand in your bank account? How would you feel? Feelings, like just
if I won,
feeling. Yes.
Oh no, over the moon. Like it would take a lot to calm me down. But we have Tshepo now on the line. Tshepo, how are you doing this afternoon?
Hi, how you doing?
We are fantastic. Listen, take us through the story. Take us through from the day you placed that bet, Tshepo. Walk us through that entire process, placing the bet, realizing that you won, and then what happened afterwards.
Okay, so in the day in question, I bought a OTT voucher. I logged onto my WSB, which is World Sports Betting account, then proceeded to load the voucher, selected the numbers, took a screenshot of the numbers, the bet processed, it said successful, the money was deducted, got a receipt, a digital receipt, went about my day, slept. Then in the AMs, I just check the numbers using the screenshot because when you check using the website, you need to log on, go onto the profile, check. It's quite a tedious process. So with the screenshot, it's easier. So checked and realized I had matched all 6 numbers. Went onto the account, had difficulty accessing my ticket. Couldn't sleep for the rest of the night. Waited until morning, called in the call center, told them what was happening. The agent checked my profile, gave them my login details, only for them to tell me that they need to escalate it to IT, which would take up to 48 hours. Waited for that 48 hours. It lapsed. It got escalated, I think, 4 times after that.
I have so many questions about the legalities of these platforms, but let's stick to your story because I think that's most important. So, okay, so you check the results, you realize that you've matched all 6 numbers. Do you tell someone? Like, do you remember your first reaction?
It was a surreal feeling. So I thought maybe the ticket not being there, maybe, I don't know, it's procedure or something. So I was in a panic. That's why I called in the morning, only for them to tell me that it needs to be escalated. So obviously, I start panicking. I don't know what's happening. I call my sister to tell her, and she's like, no, let's just give them a chance to do what they need to do.
Tshepo, has the National Gambling Board or the consumer protection bodies, SA Lotteries, have they reached out to you ever since you came out publicly?
Uh, Not yet. So what happened is immediately when they started escalating it without a definite time period as to when a resolution would be reached or what the issue is, I reached out to the Gauteng Gambling Board. They told me that it's out of their jurisdiction as it's a national lotteries issue. So the NLC would be the one that's responsible for handling um, the matter at hand. With WSB, they then told me that since I had referenced the Gauteng Gambling Board and now the NLC, they wouldn't interact with me anymore. They would now directly speak to the regulatory bodies in question. And then the NLC, I've been there, I think, 3 times now. I had gotten legal help representation. That also didn't go well. And with the national lotteries, actually Ituba on Twitter, they actually blocked me because I would always repost my story and ask them questions as to what's happening. So I'm blocked by them on Twitter. And quite recently, people that have been reposting and tagging them, they also have been blocked by Ituba on Twitter.
It sounds really fishy, if I could use that term, because why would you just not pay out the earnings? But we actually need to get somebody who understands, the legalities around winning, so we can get a better understanding as to what's happening. Because to wait for years for winnings to reflect in your bank account, it doesn't sound legal at all. But, you speak about how you've just been tossed around, Tshepo, from pillar to post, for so many years. How are you affected by this entire situation from an emotional and mental perspective?
To be quite honest, I think I was in a depression for 2 years because I felt as if I was going crazy, and it was hard fighting a system with no help from the regulatory bodies. In addition, I think with WSB, they reference a timeout server error, which from a consumer standpoint, I would not be responsible for anything technical. And with Ituva, they said that from their end, they didn't have any issues with the system, but none of them have actually produced IT trail or forensic IT report of any manner. With the NLC as well, they said that the last response, because the lady in question who's handling the case doesn't answer calls, doesn't answer emails, she's always at the office. The secretary keeps saying that she'll try to get a hold of her. I don't get a response. With the National Gambling Board as well, I sent them an email. They still haven't responded. So it's quite frustrating.
Tshepo, I'm going to ask you to stay on the line for us, and for those listening in at home right now, and perhaps you can help from a legality point of view and give some advice to Tshepo on what the next steps should be. And if you are representative of any of these other bodies, whether WorldSportsBet, whether Ituba, the gambling authorities, please get in touch with us. +27 634 006 9126 with some advice for Tshepo on the way forward. It's 30 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest sports.
Sports on Channel Africa.